Academy Award winner Will Smith. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Hey guys, so today's movie that I'm going to be reviewing is the new sports drama from director Reynold Marcus Green. It's called King Richard and tells the story of the meteoric rise of world-class tennis champion sisters Venus and Serena Williams, played in this film by Sonia Sidney and Demi Singleton. From humble beginnings in Compton, California to world-class athletes, how the Williams sisters achieve such notoriety in the world of tennis is thanks in large part from their supportive and larger-than-life father, Richard Williams, who is the focal character of this biopic, and he's played with Oscar-caliber gusto by Will Smith. And trust me, after a decade of so-so roles, this is the Will Smith role that audiences have been craving. Set in the early 90s, we see Richard raising and nurturing his 5 daughters with his wife Oracene, played by Aunjanue Ellis. He works a night shift as a security guard, but spends his days coaching Venus and Serena as best he can. He's a man of great determination. He is hustling, doing everything in his power to get the girls the professional coaches that they need in order to become champions. It's all part of his 78-page plan, which he's had since before the girls were even born. And eventually his tenacity does indeed pay off. When the girls land their coaches, they start winning junior tournaments, and the rest is history. I'm just gonna say this right now, I adored this film. I walked out of it with the biggest smile on my face. It's just the most irresistibly enjoyable film. Zach Balin's script is so wholesome and funny. The cinematography embraces you like a warm hug. It moves at a swift pace. Plus, it's a real life triumph over adversity story. It's the very definition of a crowd pleaser, and it's also got a sensational performance from Will Smith to boot. This is the role that I've wanted to see from Will Smith for the longest time. This past decade, he's been perfectly good in all the films that he's picked, but they've never really felt like a challenge for him. And we've seen in past performances that he can bring it when he needs to in films like Ali and The Pursuit of Happiness. That's why Richard Williams is such a perfect role for Will Smith. It's certainly a role that plays to Smith's strengths, like his charisma and his comedic chops, but it also allows Smith the opportunity to go a lot deeper than usual because the character of Richard is complex. He's a man of clashing contradictions, a man who's hungry for his girls to win, but also preaches humility and respect. Those things don't often go hand in hand. He's pushing his daughters to greatness, but often lets his own stubbornness get in the way of their path to success. There's a lot of push and pull with his character, which keeps things interesting. It's a role Smith gives himself to entirely, from the hunched posture to the Louisiana drawl. He gets to showcase so much of his capabilities as Richard Williams. It's one of Will Smith's finest performances. A bunch of you guys have been asking me if I think that Will Smith can win the Best Actor Oscar for this role, and I'm gonna say, yes, I think he can. I don't think it's a lock just yet, but I can foresee a path to victory for Will Smith, which kind of echoes the journey that Sandra Bullock took with The Blind Side for her to win Best Actress. You know, you've got a beloved Hollywood star who's had a long, fruitful career, mostly in comedies, who lands a great dramatic role in a schmaltzy feel-good sports movie. It's the same path that Sandra Bullock took to win the Oscar. And I will say that Will Smith's performance in King Richard is more than deserving. Plus, I would like to live in a world where I can say Academy Award winner Will Smith. It just feels right. But what do you guys think? Do you think Will Smith is going to get a Best Actor nomination for his work in King Richard? Well, if you have to say, let your voice be in that comment section down below. Also help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. And if you haven't done so already, click subscribe. This is Will Smith's movie, but his co-stars are just as phenomenal. Aunjanue Ellis, who plays his wife Brandy, wow, she was incredible. But also Sonia Sidney and Demi Singleton perfectly capture the Williams sisters' loving, sisterly bond, as well as their power, their grace, and mental fortitude on the tennis court. And because their performances are all so good, it makes Will Smith's performance look even better. Also, a shout out to Tony Goldwyn and John Bernthal, who played the tennis coaches Paul Cohen and Rick Mackie? Or is it Massey? I'm not sure. I don't do tennis. I don't know. Ah! As far as negatives go, the script does gloss over the more unfavorable aspects of Richard's story, like the fact that he had a son that he disowned gets reduced to a throwaway line, and also apparently he said some pretty controversial things to the press about how tennis parents should be shot. The film just glosses straight over that. The writing is also a bit cheesy in places. Like the amount of stuff that Richard predicts about his family's future with spooky accuracy, it's a bit much. Also, there's a minor plot thread in the beginning of the film involving a gangbanger, which feels like it belongs in a completely different film. I get why it was in the film, but I don't think the film necessarily needed it. On reflection, it does kind of stick out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of the film. Time has come to ask them 4 questions. Oh yes, that's right, you guys get a bonus question today. First question, would I watch it again? Definitely. I cannot wait for this film to be released in cinemas. I'm gonna go take Glenn to see it. It's gonna be a great date night movie. But also, it's a film I want to buy my own copy of and put it on the wall, display it with pride. Yeah, definitely gonna watch it many more times. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Oh my god, King Richard is so easy for me to recommend to everyone because it's so heartfelt and inspiring. All the performances are impressive, it's funny, it has cultural undertones, the emotional moments totally land. I'll admit there was a scene towards the end of this film which had me weeping. You would have to have a heart of stone not to find the enjoyment in a film like this. So yes, I do recommend it. Go watch it, guys. You'll have a really good time with it. Third question, what score to give it out of 10? King Richard has its flaws, but I am so forgiving of those flaws because of how much I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I really loved it. It's like my favorite Will Smith film I've seen in over a decade. So I'm gonna give King Richard a score of 8 out of 10. And the fourth question, do I think it will be nominated for any Oscars? Yes, I do. I think the Best Actor nomination for Will Smith is pretty much a lock. If he doesn't get nominated, I would be gobsmacked. But also, Aunjanue Ellis is a credible candidate for a Best Supporting Actress nomination, and also, not impossible, but far less likely, is Sonia Sidney, could also be nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I could potentially see a screenplay nomination for Zach Bailin. I'm like 95% sure it's going to get a nomination for Best Picture. But also, a nomination for Best Song for Beyoncé seems very likely. Her song, Be Alive, which plays over the end credits whilst we watch a bunch of Williams family stock footage, is very rousing and empowering. I was tapping my foot and bobbing my head in the cinema as it was playing. It's kind of in the same vein of Beyonce's song Freedom, which she did with Kendrick Lamar on the Lemonade album. Yeah, I really love that song, and I also love this one, and I think Beyonce will be nominated. I want to see Beyonce at the Oscars. It should make up for the Spirit Snub, you know, the song she wrote for The Lion King. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on King Richard. Are you excited for this film? Have you seen it? If you have, what did you make of it? Do you think it's going to be nominated for some Oscars? If so, which ones? Whatever you have to say about this film, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. Also, let me know what your favourite Will Smith performance is. I always love hearing what people think of his catalogue of work. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Lake Airfield, and I'll see you next time.